Welcome to our pre-foundation program at Future International Nursery. In this video, we will be sharing with you the approach we are following with your child and also discuss about different ways you can support your child at home. We are delighted to be working as partners with you to support your child on their learning journey. Children thrive when there is positive communication between home and the teaching team. The easiest way to stay in touch with the teachers is to use the parent application messaging option. Please note that for any urgent matters, you need to call the nursery landline or mobile number, as teachers will not check their messages during the teaching time. The easiest way to stay in touch with the teachers is to use the parent application messaging option. Please note that for any urgent matters, you need to call the nursery landline or mobile number, as teachers will not check their messages during the contact time with the children. Before we start introducing our program, we want to address the readiness of the child for learning. Good routines at home are an essential part of your child's success. Children who are between the age of 2 and 3 should have on average 12 hours of sleep per night and also have a nap in the afternoon. Of course, this can vary from one child to another, but for the majority of children, this means that if your child wakes up at 7 a.m. in the morning, your sleep routine should start around 6 p.m. and your child should be in bed around 7 p.m. Research shows that children with reduced sleep are more likely to struggle with verbal creativity, problem solving, inhibiting their behavior, and generally score lower on IQ tests. If your child is having difficulty getting to bed at night, talk to your child's teachers so we can find together strategies to help with your sleep routine. Having a balanced diet with no artificially sweetened food is another factor. A child's diet primarily needs to fuel growth and development, and children have comparatively higher nutritional needs than adults. They have tiny tummies, so it's easy for them to miss out on the nutrients they need. They simply don't have room for empty calories from an excess of sugary foods and drinks. Sugar can have disastrous effects on your child's health, with things like hyperactivity, mental, behavioral, and cognitive problems, depletes the immune system, eczema, drowsiness, anxiety, difficulty concentrating, crankiness, and tooth decay. We will be sharing ideas for packed breakfasts and lunches through our parent application. Our program is based on the International Early Years curriculum and uses the Early Years Foundation stage as a framework. Children are immersed in a program that exposes them to high-quality language, both in English and Arabic. We plan our day around the different areas of learning. Our program is based on the International Early Years curriculum and uses the Early Years Foundation stage as a framework. Children are immersed in a program that exposes them to high-quality language, both in English and Arabic. We plan our day around the different areas of learning, which are personal, social, emotional development, communication and language, physical development, literacy, mathematics, understanding the world, and expressive arts and design. All these areas of learning are equally important, and each of them are interconnected. The 3 areas of learning, however, which are personal, social, emotional development, communication and language, and physical development, are considered the prime areas, as they are time sensitive, and it is important that these areas are in place by the age of 5. These form important foundations for all other areas of learning. Having routines in place helps young children predict what happens next, and this predictability helps them feel safe and secure. And therefore, we arranged the children's day into a consistent routine. During their day, we make sure that they have a balance between child-led centres, where children choose the resources they want to interact with, and adult-led activities during which the teachers invite children to specific topics. Here on the screen is an example of how the daily routine would look like for our children. And we will go into more detail on each routine in the coming slides. So we start our day with capturing curiosity. Then we have a circle time and Quran. Then we will have our breakfast. We will then have some physical activities, either outdoors or inside. We will then divide the children into smaller groups, so there are small learning groups. We will then have a time for adventures outside the classroom, where the children will be visiting the shared spaces in the nursery. We will then have snacks, and some of the children will be having their naps during this time. For the children that do not nap, this is a quiet time in the classroom where there's stories, there's quiet centres like a Play-Doh station or some blocks or the role play in the classroom. And then for those children leaving at 1, there'll be collection time, and for the children staying for the extended day, they will have their lunch and then they have their extended day programme. When children arrive in the morning, they have engaging play centres set up for them in which they are invited to join. We call these centres capturing curiosity. We like to start our day with child-led learning stations, and this gives our children the opportunity to make their own choices and explore freely. Children will then be invited to a circle time. Circle time is a great way for our children to enhance their communication and language, develop their attention span, and social skills. During circle time, we usually do the register of who is with us today, listen to some Quran, and then introduce the topics we are learning about through a game, songs, rhymes, and a story. The children will then have a meal time, and this is a very important part of the day, and children learn a lot from it, from table manners and getting used to washing their hands and sitting at a table and becoming independent in their feeding. We also discuss with our children about the importance of eating healthy and looking after ourselves. Physical activity is vital in children's all-round development, enabling them to pursue happy, healthy, and active lives. And so we plan purposeful physical games that help the children gradually gain control of their whole body. The children are then divided into smaller learning groups. Smaller learning groups enables the teacher to interact with the children on more of a one-to-one basis, allowing us to identify the child's strengths, weaknesses, and also targets. And these activities are designed to help develop the children in the 7 areas of learning. It is also important for our children to explore beyond the walls of their classroom, and so every day we visit different areas, like the sensory room, the Discovery Centre, our soft play gym, Future Street, which comprises of different role play stations. We have our forest and our water park. Towards the afternoon, many of the children will require a nap, and so will have their naps in their designated napping space. For the children who do not nap, we set up the class with quiet play centres, like writing stations and colouring, Legos and Play-Doh. We also like to end the day with a story time. It is crucial for children to develop a lifelong love of reading, and so the children have opportunities to share books at different moments of the day. In our daily routines, we also strive to provide as many opportunities as possible for children to develop their ability to self-regulate and develop what we call their executive functions. Executive functions are the child's ability to hold information in their mind, focus their attention, think flexibly, and inhibit impulsive behavior. These executive functions help children concentrate their thinking and plan what to do next, be patient for what they want, and regulate strong feelings. To help develop these executive functions, children need to be given as many opportunities as possible to do by themselves. We have a rule at the nursery: do not do for the children what you can do with them. Children should also be encouraged to do as much as possible by themselves at home as well. Research shows that children who are involved in household chores from an early age end up becoming more successful adults in their academic lives, their relationships with family and friends. Here are a few of the targets we have for our children to promote their independence. To learn more about how to support your child's language development and pre-reading skills at home, please watch the video clip that will be shared with you on the parent application Thin at Home pre-reading program.